this PC, you need to make sure you have a Swiss Army knife with a screwdriver on it. So here's the thing. I've always wanted to build my own PC. Ever since sophomore year of high school, I was super interested in computers and all that. And I went so far as to go to PC Part Picker and build out my own theoretical PC build. Back then, I really wanted the i5 4690K and possibly a 970, but I haven't been able to do that, and it's been 6 years now. So times have changed. Obviously, now it's quarantine, and I thought, well, it's the perfect time to build a PC. So I'm going to document what I'm going to do, and hopefully you can use this as a guide for when you build your own PC. Before I get building, why don't we go over the parts that I will be using for my personal build. For the CPU, I have the R9 3900X, and you might be saying, well, that's complete overkill. Why on earth would you need 12 cores and 24 threads? And you'd be completely right. I probably could have gotten away with an R5 or even an R7, but quite honestly, I found a good deal. So I was eyeing the R7 3700X, but I found someone selling the 3900X for not much more, so I figured I might as well jump for that. For RAM, I have a 32 gigabyte kit of G.Skill memory, and it's also overkill, but I really do plan on keeping this build for a really long time, and I think even with 16 gigs like I use now, it's already kind of pushing the limits of what I want to do. For the graphics card, I am using an older graphics card. I'm using a GTX 980 Ti, and currently the card that a lot of people are looking at is like the RTX 2060 Super, 2070 Super, RX 5700 XT, and those would be what I would have wanted, but I managed to get the 980 Ti for about $70 off EVGA's B-Stock sale, and with the release of the 3000 series rumored to be around the corner, I figured the 980 Ti could just hold me over until then, and then I'll upgrade. For storage, I am using a PCIe Gen 4 500 gigabyte SSD from Corsair and nothing else internally. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to be using any other hard drives, because when I'm in college, I use a 4 terabyte external Western Digital hard drive that I use to carry all my games and videos and photos and such. And I think I will also be using that for my build, and hopefully when things drop in price even more for Black Friday, I'll throw maybe a 2 terabyte SSD in my system then. For the motherboard, I managed to pick up a MSI X570 Tomahawk, which has gotten rave reviews by Hardware Unboxed, Buildzoid from Gamers Nexus, and I just think it's perfect for the 3900X. I managed to get it when it was in stock, and I plan on using it for a really long time. The 4000 series will also be supported, and hopefully the 5000 whenever that comes out. So hopefully I just need a BIOS update and it will be up and running whenever I decide to upgrade. For the power supply, it's not a great time, honestly, to get a power supply, and I managed to just get this, a Seasonic Platinum PX750, and it's definitely overkill. I don't need platinum, I probably only need an 80 plus gold, but given how rare power supplies are and how inflated they are, I figured I'd just jump at the opportunity when they're in stock and just pick it up. So even though the R9 3900X comes with its own stock cooler, I don't plan on using the stock cooler. Instead, I will be using the NH-U12A from Noctua, and it's not the prettiest looking CPU cooler, but quite honestly, I want the silence, and Noctua has been renowned for a really long time now, and I figured why not give it a go. My laptop is really loud compared to what I think it could be. I'm using an XPS 159560, which is about 3-4 years old now. So I hope that with this build, it'll be much quieter and much more powerful. Finally, for the case, I will be using Fractal Designs Define 7 Compact. And I was debating between using the Define 7 Compact and the Meshify C, but for me, what pushed me over to the Define 7 Compact was the plethora of ports that is on the front panel. Additionally, a lot of people are already using the Meshify C, and I kind of wanted to differentiate myself, so that's why I went with that. The Define 7 Compact comes with one 140mm fan and one 120mm fan already included, but I added 3 more 120mm fans and took out the 140. I think it'll be better given how, well, constricted this front panel is and how narrow this opening is on the side. I replaced the front with 3 Arctic P12 fans, and I left the fan in the back the same. You would think that being the tech guy and your friends and family would mean you built your own computer, but funnily enough, I haven't done that yet, so let's do it now. First things first, I will do a test boot outside of the PC. That way, I know that when I put everything into the case, everything will work. I don't want to wait until the last minute to find out that something doesn't work. So right now, what I'm going to do is use the motherboard box as a test bench, put in the RAM, my CPU, and my power supply and plug in all the cables and see if something posts or shows up on the screen. I almost forgot to mention, because Ryzen doesn't have an integrated GPU inside, I need a graphics card to be able to display something to the monitor. So there is, it's gonna be kind of hard to show, but I don't even know if I can zoom in that far, but there is a golden triangle. That little golden pin, I will be matching that up to the motherboard. But first, so, let's see what's the best way. It looks like it's in. Just give it a little wiggle. Push down. And there we go. CPU is installed. Still have to open all these packages, so Swiss Army knife does come in handy. On my system, I'm only using 2 sticks of RAM, but there are 4 DIMM slots. I read my manual and made sure that I only needed to put RAM in these 2 slots if I was only using 2 sticks. Be sure to check with your motherboard manual to make sure you're putting them in the right slots. All I did was remove the screws, the 4 screws there, and I'm going to just pop this off. Every cooler is different, so just refer back to your own guide, which usually comes in the box. If you ever feel that the screws just aren't going in, maybe you should double check so you don't break anything. So for the Noctua cooler, the screws right here are right under the fans. So I'm gonna have to remove the fans before screwing this on. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm not gonna spread out the paste because as I put this on, it will spread out by itself. All right, that took a bit of effort. I did it off camera, but I got the heatsink in, and now I just need to put on the fans. The way I know which way the fans blow is the side with typically a logo. So on the side that there's a logo, air's gonna go that way. And on some fans, they might even have an arrow. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but there is an arrow right there. That is the CPU cooler. Now for the graphics card, I just need to put this in here. And just like the RAM, I just push down. And graphics card is installed. Now I can wire everything up. So just before I do my test boot, I need to plug in some power supply cables. So the only cables that I need are the graphics card cables for power, this 24 pin, and for me, I only need to plug in this 8 pin. This 4 pin, according to people like Buildzoid, is only for hardcore overclockers with liquid nitrogen, so I don't need that. And I will need to plug in an HDMI cable to the back of the graphics card. I'll need this one for the graphics card. This one is for the connectors at the top right there. This big 24 pin cable that goes right there. Make sure you connect the right side because one of these is labeled PSU, which means it goes to the power supply, and this one is labeled CPU, which means it goes to the motherboard. I know I'm not going to win any cable management contests right now, but this is all just to set up and test to see if this all works in the first place. Now, all I have to do is short out the power reset pins and see if it turns on. It seems that we have a post. That is correct, right there. 32 gigabytes of RAM, everything looks good. So now I can put everything into the case. So because I have an M.2 NVMe SSD, I'm going to install that now. And to do that, I just need to remove those 2 screws and slip it in. So because I have a PCIe Gen 4, I'm going to install it in this top slot here. Okay, I have to switch to a smaller screwdriver because the other one is a bit too large. I must either have really weak fingers or really weak fingernails because these small parts take forever for me to take off and it really hurts. I had to quickly open the box because I realized I forgot to take out these little things. These screws are meant to screw on the SSD. Now I just need to take off the plastic from the backside and put it back on. So now I'm going to put this whole motherboard, cooler, RAM, and this whole bundle right here into my case. And fortunately, Fractal Design made it really easy to put it in. I took off the top panel, so hopefully it'll go in pretty smoothly. There's this center post that I have to line everything up with, and then there's a bunch of other screws that eventually I'll screw in. So off camera, I just plugged in the front panel connectors because they're tiny and they were kind of a pain. And I just did a little bit of cable management, but now I'm going to put in the graphics card. But first, I have to remove these 2 screws here. And the brackets card. Alright, I think I just need to push this graphics card in and screw it in. So at this point, I just need to screw in the graphics card and wire everything back up to just like before. I think I'm gonna end it here in terms of the build log, but I will film right when I finish. So as I'm finishing up this build, there's a few things I noticed about the build of this case that kind of gave me a few problems. So under the power supply, there's these little foam pieces that are about this big that basically dampen it. But for some reason, my Seasonic power supply, when I tried to push in the power supply from the back, it kept lifting those little foam pieces up, and it made it really annoying. And that was just one thing I noticed. If you were to get this case, that might be something to keep in mind. One thing I also forgot to mention is if you have an I/O shield, be sure to install it. My motherboard came with it pre-installed, so that's why I didn't mention it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I also had a little difficulty here with the thumb screws for the graphics card because I didn't push this in far enough for some reason. The first time it was okay. Second time I didn't push it in far enough and then I couldn't screw it in either time. And I eventually just tried again and it worked. Alright, so as you can see, everything's running. You can see fans are spinning and all that. And yeah, that's it for this video. I highly recommend you try out and build your own PC. I think it's a really fun experience and everyone should at least try it out at least once. I will do all the booting and installing Windows and all that on my own, but that is it for me. Thanks for watching.